Right now, as you're watching this, the universe contains roughly 2 trillion galaxies, each one packed with hundreds of billions of stars, each star potentially circled by planets. Do the maths, and you end up with a number so massive your brain literally can't picture it. And yet, when we point our biggest telescopes at the sky and listen, there's nothing. No signals, no signs, no neighbours, just silence. And modern physics has absolutely no idea why. This isn't a science fiction question anymore, mate. This is one of the most disturbing open problems in physics. And the deeper you dig, the worse it gets. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why a lot of serious physicists have genuinely started losing sleep over this. You're watching Curious Physics AU, the channel where we chase the weird questions, the ones your textbook quietly skips past. Today we're tackling what's called the Fermi Paradox, and I promise you, this rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than just, are aliens real? Let's rewind to 1950, Los Alamos National Lab, New Mexico. A bunch of physicists are walking to lunch. Among them is Enrico Fermi, the bloke who built the world's first nuclear reactor. They're having a casual chat about UFO sightings, just cracking jokes. Then, halfway through his sandwich, Fermi suddenly stops, looks up, and asks one question. 4 words. Where is everybody? The whole table went quiet. Because Fermi wasn't being funny. He'd just done the back of the napkin maths in his head, and the numbers didn't add up. Here's what was running through his brain. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is about 13 billion years old. It contains somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. Even if only a tiny fraction of those stars have Earth-like planets, and only a tiny fraction of those planets develop life, and only a tiny fraction of that life becomes intelligent, you're still left with millions of civilizations. Millions. And here's the kicker. Even at slow, realistic rocket speeds, nothing fancy, no warp drives, a civilization could colonize the entire galaxy in about 10 million years. Which sounds like ages, but remember, the galaxy's been sitting here for 13 billion years. That's more than enough time for a civilization to have spread from one side of the Milky Way to the other 1,000 times over. So where are they? In 1961, an astronomer named Frank Drake tried to put Fermi's question on proper scientific footing. He wrote down what's now called the Drake equation, a formula that estimates how many actively broadcasting civilizations should exist in our galaxy right now. You plug in the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars with planets, the fraction of those planets that can host life, and so on down the line. Run the numbers with conservative estimates and you get thousands. Run them with optimistic estimates and you get tens of thousands. Broadcasting civilizations, right now, just in our galaxy. And remember, our galaxy is one of 2 trillion. Picture it like this. Imagine you're driving from Sydney to Perth, a 4-day haul across the Nullarbor. Now imagine you don't see a single other car the entire way. Not a road train, not a ute, not a caravan, nothing. No servos, no roadhouses, no sheep, just empty bitumen for 4,000 kilometres. At some point, you'd stop thinking, this is peaceful, and start thinking, something is seriously wrong here. That's exactly where physics is right now with the universe. We've been scanning the sky since 1960 with projects like SETI. We've listened in on over 1 million nearby stars. We've searched for the infrared glow of Dyson spheres wrapped around entire galaxies. And what have we found? Nothing. Zip. Not one artificial signal. Not one engineered object. Not one single cosmic breadcrumb. Now here's where it gets dark. Really dark. Because there are only a handful of possible explanations. And honestly, none of them are comforting. Let me walk you through them slowly. Explanation number 1. We're genuinely alone. The rise of life from chemistry might be a fluke so extraordinary, so vanishingly rare, that it only happened once in the entire observable universe. And that once was us. Think about that for a second. Every atom in your body was forged inside a dying star. You are the universe looking at itself for the first and possibly only time. That's not a comforting thought. That's a terrifying responsibility. Explanation number 2 is called the Great Filter, and this is the one that keeps physicists awake at night. The idea proposed by the economist Robin Hanson goes like this. Somewhere between a lifeless rock and a galaxy-spanning civilization, there's a step, a filter, a barrier so hard to pass through that almost nothing on the other side survives. Maybe the filter is the jump from simple cells to complex cells, which on Earth took nearly 2 billion years, by the way. Maybe it's the emergence of intelligence. Maybe it's surviving your own nuclear weapons. Maybe it's climate collapse. Maybe it's something we can't even imagine yet. We don't know what the filter is, but we know something must be filtering because the universe is empty. And here's the chilling part. If the filter is behind us, if we've already passed it, then we got unbelievably lucky and we're special. But if the filter is ahead of us, then we're hurtling straight into a wall that every single civilization before us has smashed into and died. Every single one. No exceptions. And the fact that we haven't seen any aliens anywhere in the visible universe is actually evidence that the filter is more likely ahead of us than behind us. The silence isn't peaceful. It might be a warning. Still with me? Good. Because the next explanation is even weirder. Explanation number 3. The Dark Forest. This one comes originally from a Chinese science fiction novel, but serious researchers have started taking it seriously. The idea goes like this. The universe is a forest at night. Every intelligent civilization is a hunter. You can't tell who's friendly and who's hostile, and you can't afford to find out. Because if you're wrong just once, if the civilization you wave at turns out to be hostile, you're dead. Instantly. So every intelligent species in the galaxy ends up doing the same thing. They shut up. They hide. They watch. They listen. And if they detect another civilization broadcasting, they might just eliminate it preemptively, before it becomes a threat. Under this theory, the reason the universe is silent is because broadcasting is suicide. And we, as a species, have been loudly broadcasting our presence in every direction for about 100 years. Sleep tight. Let me interrupt this cheerful thought with a quick pattern break. I want you to do something. Pause this video for a sec. Go outside. Look up. If it's daytime, just imagine the night sky. Every single point of light you can see is a sun. And around most of those suns are planets. And right now, in this moment, as you're looking up, something might be looking back. Or nothing is. And I genuinely don't know which option is more unsettling. Right, back to the explanations. Explanation number 4, the zoo hypothesis. Maybe they're out there. Maybe they know we're here. And maybe they've simply decided we're not ready. Like how we put "do not feed the animals" signs at Taronga Zoo, a galactic civilization might have quarantined Earth. We're sitting in a cosmic nature reserve. They're watching us evolve, and they'll only make contact when we've passed some kind of test. Maybe when we stop pointing nuclear weapons at each other. Maybe when we unlock a specific piece of technology. Under this theory, the silence isn't silence at all. It's a policy. Explanation number 5, rare earth. This one says we're not alone, but we're incredibly, unbelievably rare. Earth has a bunch of weirdly specific features that most planets don't. A massive moon stabilizing our rotation, a gas giant like Jupiter hoovering up asteroids that would otherwise slam into us, plate tectonics constantly recycling our atmosphere, a magnetic field shielding us from the sun's radiation, liquid water, the right temperature, the right chemistry, the right history of near misses and lucky breaks. Stack all those probabilities on top of each other, and maybe, just maybe, complex life is so rare that our nearest intelligent neighbor is 1 billion light years away. And at that distance, any signal they send us takes 1 billion years to arrive. We might be calling out to neighbors who are real, but who live in a completely different era of cosmic time. Now, climax time. Here's what I reckon is genuinely the scariest part of this entire problem. We used to think space was just space, empty, dead, boring. But the more we learn about physics, the more we realize the universe is almost custom built for life. The fundamental constants, the strength of gravity, the mass of the electron, the way the nuclear forces work, they're tuned so precisely that if you nudged any of them by even a fraction of a percent, there'd be no stars, no planets, no chemistry, no you. The universe looks like it was engineered to produce life. And yet, when we look around that same universe, we can't find any. Life should be everywhere. Life is almost nowhere. That's the real paradox. It's not just, where are the aliens? It's, why is reality itself tuned so carefully if the outcome is this silent? And here's the honest answer from modern physics. We don't know. We genuinely, fully, completely do not know. Every single possibility I've just walked you through is still on the table. Maybe we're the first. Maybe we're the last. Maybe we're being watched. Maybe we're about to be filtered. Maybe the physics we currently know is incomplete, and there's something happening out there that we literally cannot detect yet. The silence is the single biggest clue the universe has ever given us, and we can't read it. This is the stuff Feynman absolutely loved. He never pretended to know answers he didn't have. He said it's far better to live with a question you can't solve than a wrong answer that feels nice. And the Fermi Paradox is the ultimate physics question. Because the data isn't missing, the data is the silence. So here's what I want you to sit with. Next time you're out bush, away from the city lights, and the stars go proper mental overhead, really look at them. Every star you see is a chance. Every chance is a question. And the quietness above you isn't emptiness. It's the biggest unsolved problem in physics, and you're living right inside it. If this video made your brain tingle, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel punch through the algorithm. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video we're dropping is on what actually happens when you fall into a black hole. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. And chuck a comment below. Which explanation do you reckon is right? Are we alone? Are we being watched? Or is something out there about to filter us? I read every single comment. Catch you in the next one.